Hello everybody, it's been a while since I posted a video, but here I am in my dorm, and I kind of just want to talk about what I learned from living here for the past 2 weeks. And I don't know if it's really common, but I live in an AC-less room and it's really freaking hot. So I kind of just want to talk about my experience living in a dorm without air conditioning and like what I've learned from it, because we can learn from everything. And maybe you'll end up living in an AC-less dorm too. And it's always easy to complain and say, oh my gosh, this sucks. It's really hot. Well, it is hot all the time. I literally turned off my fan like a second ago just so I can record this video, but... Hello, it's me from when I'm editing the video, and I'm just going to include some clips of when I was recording the dorm. And also, it's really hot, so I took my shirt off. Enjoy the clips. So here's the bathroom. See the faucet's over there, and then we go to the shower. The shower's really badly made, actually. If you look at it, you actually see like the curtains there, and there's nowhere to hang your clothes, so you have to hang your clothes outside and you're just walking out naked, or you have to get your clothes wet. And then compost and then trash, obviously. And here's the toilets, and then here's my room. It's pretty small. It's not that small, but there's not that much room in there. It's enough for me and my roommate to chill in, that's all. I just want to talk about like 3 things I learned. So 1, I learned about gratefulness. 2, I learned about hope for a better future. And I learned about 3, which is teaching me how to be uncomfortable. And before I get into this, I just want to say congrats to every college student who like already completed their first week of school. My first day of school was today, and it's pretty chill, and let's get right into it. So first, let's talk about gratefulness. So over the past 2 weeks, I've lived in an AC-less dorm, but a lot of buildings on campus do have AC in it, so it taught me a lot about like being like very appreciative of the air conditioning in other buildings, and that my friends have air conditioning, that I can go to their dorms too. And it also taught me to be grateful for the stuff I have at home, how I always have access to air conditioning, how I have access to like this amazing education that my parents and I can afford together, and like that we can eat organic food all the time and stuff like that other people might not have access to. And I learned that it's always easy to complain and talk about what we don't have, but like in reality we should be focusing on what we already do have and what we can be appreciative of. And while for the first week or so it was easy for me to like complain about not having air conditioning, instead of complaining about air conditioning, it became oh, this isn't too bad. I can deal with this because I have X, Y, and Z better than other people. And instead of saying, oh, I wish I was on this dorm or whatever, and that living without air conditioning is bearable. And another example was like talking to a lot of Maryland students. Since I'm at University of Maryland, I realized how much better the FCPS schooling system is compared to Maryland, just because we have so much funding. Even though like I know kids in Nova, we always complain about the system and how it's like always like how we don't like it, but we really have a lot of access to a lot of things and stuff like that. Let me drink some water because it's really hot. And again, we should be grateful for what we have, even if we don't have much. But for me, I know I have a lot, and I have a lot I can be grateful about. And second, let's move on to hope. So living in the AC-less dorm, I learned to hope a lot. Hope that we get better weather, and even though the weather is usually not that great, on good days it makes me really happy. And I'm hoping for the fall to come so that not having AC won't be that bad. And if you aren't optimistic, then like the heat can really get to you, and you can get really frustrated that it's really hot, and you can just be really down and like be constantly wishing you were in a different dorm rather than hoping for a better situation in the place you already are. And also it made me hopeful for classes, because I arrived 2 weeks before school started because I'm a community assistant at the front desk. I was really excited for my classes, and I had 2 weeks on campus before I could really even do anything, but I was fine. And like even if you're in a bad place now, like we have hope that in the future it'll get better if we try our best. And like I know that a lot of people are in worse positions than I am than just not having AC, And I'm not trying to say that having AC is like the worst thing in the world. And I know that people are dealing with a lot of stuff, but I know that we can get through this together and that we can get into a better position. And that what you're going through right now hopefully won't keep going, and that you can break out of it, or that it'll be better for you in the future. And thirdly, it teaches you to be uncomfortable. It made me go outside and meet new people instead of just staying in my dorm. Like, being an introvert, it was pretty difficult, and it's like, it's easy to just want to stay at home or stay in my dorm, but it's like way too hot for me to stay in my dorm. And then also, meeting people, it just feels like it's so pointless because like I don't even know who I'm gonna be friends with. But doing this, it made me really like find my group of people that I like, and just find different people. Although there were a lot of people that I didn't really like, I've definitely found one or two people that I do like. And we also have something called GEMS Camp, which was for my honors program, where we went out for 3 days just to get to know each other, doing icebreakers all the time. And let me tell you, it was such an extroverted camp. And like through this camp, it did make me really uncomfortable because it was really hot, and I lived with 3 other guys that I had to talk to when I get back, when I just wanted to be alone. And I had to talk to so many people at that camp. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of mental breakdowns where it's like I just wanted to be alone and I needed some alone time. But it really taught me to be uncomfortable. And while we won't always like what position we're in, we always have to make the best of it. And a lot of us are used to comfort, and like it's in human nature to seek comfort, because who wants to be uncomfortable, right? But we have to push ourselves, obviously without burning ourselves out for it though, and explore paths that we never thought we would traverse. Like, we just got to make sure that we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, but also not burning ourselves out, and that we're always constantly becoming better people. And I'm sure that I'm gonna lose hope, not to be grateful, and try to be comfortable. But living in this dorm has made me realize that like I need to focus on these 3 things, and that these 3 things will get me through this type of this unair conditioned room.